Fixing your own stuff can be rewarding, but fixing your own stuff can also suck. But my upper control arms needed replacing, so let's save hundreds by doing it ourselves. Control arms keep your wheels stable and aligned, so they're really important. Why am I replacing mine? Well, one, when I was accelerating, I could hear a consistent squeak when taking off, which likely was due to the force moving these loose bushings when the bolt flexed. Two, I recently got new tires because the inner walls of the front tires were completely worn, and on the new tires they couldn't even align them because of how worn the control arms were. And lastly, three, this Jeep has over 125,000 miles, so it's about time to replace them. So some required tools: torque wrench, some pry bars, some hammers, ratchet of course, different sockets. Specifically, you'll need an 18 millimeter for upper control arm bolts, 21 millimeter for the upper ball joint bolt, a 22 millimeter for the lug nuts, wire wheel, pickup magnet. If you're adding Zerk fittings, you'll need a 5/16 or potentially 1/4 inch, and then a 10-inch socket. I'll show you why later. Some thread locker because we're working with suspension bolts and you don't want them rattling loose. Some pliers, and the creme de la creme for this whole repair is a ratcheting wrench, 18 millimeter. If you don't have one, I strongly suggest getting one because that will make the driver's side rear and the passenger side rear a lot easier. Ratchet, again, flathead screwdriver, and invest in a simple impact gun that'll make your life easier. And again, if you're replacing the entirety of the upper control arm, then and you get a serviceable grease one, get a grease gun with some grease and a work light. I am not sponsored, but here are the upper control arm parts that I used, the left and the right. They are different, so just make sure that you get one of each. And with any suspension repair, make sure to wear safety glasses. And of course a floor jack with some jack stands. I will lift the vehicle, put it on jack stands, and also use some wheel chocks just for safety purposes. And throw it under the car for a little insurance. Now we'll remove the upper ball joint nut, 21 millimeters. I'll leave it on a couple threads, and then we're gonna separate this knuckle from the upper ball joint, just using a hammer. Like that. You can see back here, there's one bolt and then another one there that we'll need to remove, and we'll need to go behind or near the strut tower to remove those on top. To remove this air box, one clip, two clips, pull up, remove this hosing, and then we'll need to undo this hose clamp, and then we'll be able to take this box off. Remove the air filter. And then this box, you can see, has one, two, there's three, no, there's two grommets. And it's usually connected underneath this strip ring up here. So just remove that. And you can just pull this all straight up and out of your way. And there's the bolt. 18 millimeter deep. The rear driver's side bolt is the most tucked away. So here's what I'm doing. I have a ratcheting wrench here on the fastener, and this sucks because, I mean, you can remove this steering U-joint, but, you know, I don't want to remove as less as possible. So you get it on there, and then you crack it. And then you bring it back down, and you crack it. You can get a normal wrench in there. I have verified, but for the amount of money you're saving on this job, just invest in some ratcheting wrenches. You will be very glad you did, especially for this job. There it is. There we go. Oh, man, they did not make this easy. There we go. There's one. Yeah. There we go. Now rotate it back.
Oh my gosh. Oh, I can remove this nut all the way. Subsequently lose that. And then, all right. Ball joint feels pretty good. It shouldn't be like so loose that you can easily slide it with zero resistance. This is perfect. No in and out play, so that's good. You can see the bushings here are cracked. And you can just replace the bushings and or the ball joint, but it was like 40 bucks for one of these. So let's go get the new part. I figured it was a lot easier, faster, and cheaper just to get a whole new arm. See, why can't they go in like that, huh? Why can't they both go in like that? Oh, why do I work on cars? And of course I wasn't recording. Great. All I did, same thing. I just got 2 pry bars, wedged it in between here, and now, thank the freaking heavens, it's in. And we're not gonna fasten these down because we want to torque this once it's at a neutral ride height. Otherwise those bushings will tear prematurely. So we're just gonna tighten these snug for now, and then we'll come back later and torque it. Now I can add the Zerk fitting so we can grease this. I wish it sent me a 90-degree one. That way it would be a lot easier to grease. And here we're just going until it bottoms out, nothing more. 5/16.
The rear passenger side bolt is back here, but not as bad as the driver's side.
And the other bolt, you actually don't have to remove this whole fuse box to access. Come back here behind. And there it is. Right up there. Then we need to pull off this height adjustment sensor. Sometimes you can get it out with just 2 pry bars. Yeah. It's just spinning in there, so we just give it a little persuasion. There we go. Yeah, these control arms are definitely shot. Look at that. Right. Old part says right. Now to put the control arm nuts back on. Greased and ready to go. Now we can put on our sensor here. Just click it on. Insert the upper ball joint. $70 foot-pounds. Perfect. So rather than loosening it since it's already torqued, we're gonna just tighten it a little bit more. Now we need to put the vehicle in a neutral ride height, which is what we want. Is we want to put the suspension under load as if the tires were on the ground, but obviously we need the tire off so we can tighten all these fasteners and have access. So we'll know we've reached that when the suspension comes all the way up and the upper control arm stops lifting. Up we go. Now you can see when I'm lifting, it's no longer raising that upper control arm, so that's at a neutral ride height. Now 44 foot-pounds. There's no way you can get a torque wrench in the back here, so I'm just going as tight as I can with this ratcheting wrench and calling it good. To get it into a neutral ride height so we can torque all the bolts. Now that everything is torqued, we can bring this down. Get these two studs lined up in here. Okay, and then we'll put the filter in. Then come over, grab our air box, place that in diagonally. Exhaust tubing on, and then clip it in. Lastly, we'll put this on the 10mm bolt in here. Tighten up the clamp. Now tighten this. And lastly, put this connector in on the back.
You're almost done. Make sure to go get an alignment and enjoy your work. The worst part is removing the bolts, but as you saw, you can definitely do it. Ratcheting wrenches are worth it. All the tools and products will be listed below in case you need them. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.